in the past couple of months, JD Vance has been able to double his ratings in the poll, and he is in a lead. Granted, 25% haven't decided yet, but one of his he has gone past one of his chief rivals, Josh Mandell. Now, I've endorsed neither of them. I'm not from Ohio, but I know that it's Josh Mandell,
who's backed by Club for Growth, who was also anti-Trump during the primary, so it's a bit of a proxy rematch here.
And Ted Cruz is back in Mandel.
Well, but JD Vance and Josh Mandell. And here's Donald Trump in Greenwood, Nebraska, explaining his endorsement.
By the way, 33-0 in Texas. I was 3 on endorsements, 33-0. And you know, if I lost one race, they'd say Trump was humiliated. That's what they're waiting for. They're waiting for one race. You know, we've endorsed Dr. Oz. We've endorsed JP, right? JD Mandell. And he's doing great. They're all doing good. They're all doing good.
JP.
And let's see what happens.
JD Mandell. Sort of muddles his endorsement a little bit.
JP, right?
JP.
Right?
JD. What's his name again?
JP, JD, J Mandel, not Mandel. Wait a second. Mandel Vance.
Let's take that one more time, Brad.
Yeah, let's do this one more time. We got to play that one more time.
They're waiting for one race. You know, we've endorsed Dr. Oz. We've endorsed JP, right? JD Mandell. And he's doing great.
We endorsed JD, red hat, white lady.
That moment right before he guesses is so funny. We've endorsed JP, right?
JD, Mandel, got it. I remember the last name of his opponent. Of his opponent. And we endorsed Dr. Dr. Az,
the wonderful wizard, right?
Dr. Oz.
Right?
I hope to God Mandel uses that, or somebody uses.
But JD's like, JD Vance is like, I'll take it.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
JD, JP, Vance, Mandel, doesn't matter.
Yeah, apparently Mike Gibbons, one of the candidates, is already using it in fundraising emails. That like not even Donald Trump knows who JD Vance really is.
There you go.
It's already chumming the water for these eager candidates.
Maybe if you want me to remember your name, maybe you don't compare me to Hitler, okay?
Let's play this clip. It is primary day in Ohio. Josh Mandel has sort of disappeared, it feels like, out of that Ohio primary race. He had double the polling that his nearest rival, and I think the idea was that he was banking on being the Trump candidate, and then JD Vance had a real impressive come to Donald moment where he realized how wrong he had been about Donald Trump, and Donald Trump
kiss my feet.
As Donald Trump says, I endorsed JD Mandel. And he meant, of course, JD Vance.
Yeah, let he who cast the first accusation of being the next Hitler, how the phrase goes.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Here is Josh Mandel on Newsmax talking about that moment.
And Josh, of course, a lot of people were talking about the comments from President Trump this past weekend at the rally where he got a few things mixed up. Let's take a look at that clip.
And you know, if I lost one race, they'd say Trump was humiliated. That's what they're waiting for. They're waiting for one race. You know, we've endorsed Dr. Oz. We've endorsed JP, right? JD Mandell. And he's doing great. They're all doing good.
Now, some people think this was a gaffe. I think this is just President Trump, Josh, hedging his bets.
Well, listen, as the voters here know, the Trump America First voters know, there's no candidate in this race who has advanced the Trump America First agenda like I have. I was the first statewide official to support President Trump here in Ohio when all of my opponents were with John Kasich to the bitter end. And I'm looking forward to winning the primary tomorrow and then working with President Trump to advance the America First agenda. You know,
There you go. Josh Mandell trying to make hay. It seems to me, I mean, is Newsmax going to draw that many voters? Maybe.
That silence after the end, he was like, is he really thinking that he was doing both?
Well, maybe they could.
Yeah.
Can I check with my campaign advisor to see if that
He thought my middle name was P.
Yeah,
he thought my middle name was P, right? Because he got the J down.
JP.
JD.
It's a fun experiment to watch.
That is what Trump is best for.
This race is going to be interesting because going into this, something like 25% was still undecided. The genuine anti-Trump candidate seems to be picking up some support in the late days. And this is one of those classic cases where a Josh Mandel provides a real good opportunity for, whoever the Democratic nominee is. Could be Ryan, could be Harper. And either way, Josh Mandel is an extremist. And that's the type of person, that's where you start to see, like Ohio, all of a sudden ends up being a potential pickup for Democrats. I would imagine a similar dynamic in Pennsylvania, right? And maybe in New Hampshire. I'm not sure who they've got nominated on the Republican side, but I think Maggie Hassan's up for re-election, and something like this could make a big difference up there as well. So this is, and I don't know if it was, how this will implicate the Republican primaries. I wonder if we're going to see more moderate Republicans getting some support, and by moderate I mean saying we should not be no capital punishment for women who get abortion.
I don't see that happening.
The Maggie Hassan thing is interesting just separately, that she caught a big break that Chris Sununu, the governor, is not running, but then she's also just basically trying to become like Joe Manchin and visiting the border and stuff like that. It's just like a weird vibe.
Yep.
Speaking of
I just don't see Mitch McConnell supporting a more center-right candidate, because that's where, if you're going to find the center support, it's going to be from McConnell's wing, but McConnell's fully on board with what's happening right now. Right. So I really think that the far right is going to do a lot better because, they're going to be stuck. The center-right candidates are just not going to have the resources because at the end of the day, the center-right is funded by these right-wing extremist anti-abortion folks. It's not just the QAnon people. Yeah, but they're going to ride it more than the centers.
McConnell has faith that whatever nut job emerges, it doesn't really necessarily matter. They're going to uphold the interests of big money and of capitalists, and he can work with that, right? So he stays out of these things to a degree that I think Democrats could potentially learn from, but they won't.
Matt, were you about to say?
Oh, speaking of Ohio primaries, vote for Nina Turner.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.